What foods help you focus? If you've been struggling to stay focused, you may have been actively seeking out other solutions. If this sounds like you, then you are in the right place. I am here to answer that question in today's video, so let's get started. Hi, I'm Dr. Kelly Shockley, Doctor of Cause, chiropractic, board certified in sports medicine, and specialized in clinical nutrition. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 15 foods that are proven to get you focused with each bite, plus which foods you should be avoiding like the plague. Then we'll cover 6 lifestyle hacks that are sure to get you ninja-like focus. These are easy peasy to implement, so don't get stressed. And finally, I will be sharing with you the only way to actually end focus and never have to address it again. Let's get started. Let's dive into the top 15 foods that are proven to improve your focus, and then get into who you should be avoiding like the plague. There are more than just these, but these 15 that I'm going to be sharing with you have been researched. They all contribute to improving focus. They're all amazing for helping improve brain health, which if your brain is not healthy, there is no way you're going to be focusing like a ninja. There just simply is no way. If you focus on improving brain health, you will be able to focus like a ninja without issues. So the very first food that packs all kinds of amazing nutrients for brain health in that I love and consume on a regular basis are avocados. Now, avocados are on that Clean 15 list, so that means that you don't have to buy organic avocados, though we prefer organic everything. These are one that you can get away with just buying the conventional method of doing so. In fact, my family, we will get avocados from Costco like once a week. We all eat about a half an avocado almost every single day. We love avocados, and their nutrient capacity for brain health is huge. So start adding in a half avocado every day, a whole avocado every other day. It's a great afternoon snack. It's a great pick-me-up. You can throw it in smoothies. Like there's so many different things you can do with avocados, even if you don't like them. Like I said, you could sneak it into a smoothie. Just know in your smoothie, it'll increase some of the thickness, so play around with how much you need to add in. So good for your brain. The second brain-boosting food that will help improve your focus are beets. Now, I will be honest, I'm not the biggest fan of beets. I will eat them because I know they're healthy for me, but I can't get past the fact that they're a little earthy, okay? Now, I also don't eat beets on a regular basis because beets do have more naturally occurring sugars. This is something if you want to add beets in, or if you love beets, I would still only have beets maybe 2 times a week at most. But they are great for helping improve focus because they contain really important nutrients to bolster brain health. They're also really good for your cardiovascular system too. One of the fruits that's awesome for focus are blueberries. Now, here's the thing with blueberries. Don't just think you can get away with consuming a cup or more a day, because they contain, at that level, more sugars than a cup of watermelon would, okay? Blueberries are incredible. They've got great antioxidants. They're good for reducing inflammation, just like avocados and beets are as well. And that's part of what helps really improve the level of health of your brain. But blueberries also contain sugars too. And eating one serving, which knowing what a serving is, it's somewhere between a quarter and a half cup, eating only one serving of blueberries is all that it takes. More than that ends up being a little bit too much of a good thing. Now, this next one on the list, you might not think of first for improving focus, but it ultimately does, so hear me out. It would be bone broth. Now, why bone broth? Well, bone broth is like the perfect concoction, balanced blend of nutrients that the gut needs in order to be healthy. And we are understanding now, specifically within the last handful of years, that if the gut's not healthy, there's no way the brain will be healthy. And again, if the brain's not healthy, you're not going to be able to focus like a ninja without question. So adding bone broth in really supplies the gut the nutrients it needs for healing and just optimal function, which then in turn allows your brain to function at a higher capacity as well. So add in some bone broth. The next one on the list, number 5, would be broccoli. Broccoli, oh my gosh, broccoli has so many different amazing health benefits. One of it is because it contains high levels of sulforaphane, which is a huge antioxidant, which is really protective of your cells and keeping them from being damaged. In fact, broccoli, not just because of the sulforaphane, but because of vitamin K and choline that it contains, quite possibly is one of the best brain foods. So your mom wasn't wrong when she told you to eat your broccoli. It's really good for you. Next on the list would be celery. And celery, bonus of celery, if you have to, like, you do not like celery, maybe this can motivate you. It's the only food you can eat that actually takes more calories to burn than it actually contains. Okay, so it's super low calorie and also just helps you boost your metabolism while you're consuming it. But it's super nutrient dense, lots of antioxidants, great ability for reducing inflammation, all things that are needed in order for optimal brain function. So snacking on some celery with maybe hummus or some sort of a nut butter in the afternoon could be the perfect snack that helps you stay focused all day long. Number 7 on the list is coconut oil. Now, I know there's a lot of controversy coming around coconut oil and that it's saturated and is not something you should be eating in high quantities. But truth of the matter is, it still shows that coconut oil is actually one of the best fats that you could be consuming. It's very antimicrobial. It's very anti-inflammatory. It is a super healer to the gut. And ultimately, the types of fats that are found in coconut oil, part of them are medium chain triglycerides, MCTs. The brain uses those as fuel, okay? Your brain loves coconut oil. In fact, I will tell you, my son, from the time he started eating solid foods, around 6-ish months or so, I've been giving him coconut oil. And he's a very smart kid. I mean, obviously, I'm his mom. I might be a little bit biased. Very smart, very high energy, very driven. And my brother, who's the jokester in our family, always has said, like, maybe this kid, I should back up. My child has had issues and nightmares. Now, there might be a multitude of other reasons for that. Life has not been without stress. He has very active imagination, and his brain always processes things at night, like yours and mine does. That's when the brain finishes processing the events of the day. And my son just has a very active brain, has had a lot of nightmares. My brother used to give me grief and it's like, it's all the coconut oil you're giving him because it's so good for your brain. Like, maybe you should give him something that puts you into a coma, like sugar. Like, of course, my brother's joking. Okay, he would not mean that by any means. But that's just kind of been the ongoing joke because coconut oil is so amazing for brain health. So add it in. If you don't know how to add coconut oil into your life, vegetables are a great vehicle for getting these healthy fats in. You can also just use some in a skillet and do your eggs in that, which are also super good for brain health. You know, add some to whatever dishes you're cooking. It's not the best one to try to use for salad dressing because it's solid, right? It's not the best to put in a smoothie either for that same reason. You just do a scoop of it. I actually give a little bit, like maybe about a teaspoon or so to my dog in his food in the mornings because it helps with his coat. And like, you should see my dog. He's ripped. He's pure muscle. He's a German Shorthair Pointer. Amazing. Okay. Coconut oil is not going to make you fat unless you're sitting down and eating tubs of it. And then you're just consuming way too many calories. And that's the bigger problem. Now, number 8 on the list is a fan by many, not me, quite oddly, but dark chocolate. Now, not all chocolate, but dark chocolate. I personally not a fan of chocolate, but if I am going to consume chocolate, I always grab for dark chocolate because of the different nutrients it has in it. It can be really good at bolstering brain health. So if you have a sweet tooth and you are a raging chocolate fan, if you can train yourself to like dark chocolate, you will actually be getting health benefits with every bite of dark chocolate you take. Still, don't sit down and eat a huge amount of it on a regular basis. Number 9 would be egg yolks. This is the first time we're going to single out the egg yolks. We've been taught our whole entire lives they're awful for us, and actually that's where most of the nutrients are stored in your egg. So do not be fearful of eating egg yolks. We know they do not have any influence over your cholesterol levels. That was all debunked a few years back where medical actually came out and was like, hey, dietary cholesterol has nothing to do with blood levels of cholesterol. The fact of the matter is your body has to have cholesterol. It produces it. The liver is the manufacturer of cholesterol. It's in every single cell of your body. So you could not eat it at all and your body's still going to produce it because it has to have it. So eat the whole egg because the egg yolk, like I said, has so many different nutrients in it, like choline we mentioned before, like broccoli, that are hugely important for brain health. Okay. So enjoy your eggs. And the cholesterol that's there is also like your brain is about 20% cholesterol. We need cholesterol. Okay. Number 10 on the list would be extra virgin olive oil. This is also because of the fatty acids. Like, our brain is made up of fat. depending on what site you source, it's anywhere from 70 to 80% fat. We've been taught that fat's bad for us. It's not true. Bad fat is bad for us, but the healthy, good fats we actually need. Those are the building blocks of the brain. If you're not getting them in, how is the brain supposed to be able to keep its cells it has, repair cells that are there, and generate new cells if it doesn't have the building blocks needed for that? Now, the thing with the extra virgin olive oil, I'm still trying to clear the air because we've still been conditioned. We were taught that that was the oil of choice to do all of our cooking in. Couldn't be further from the truth. Olive oil does not have a high flash heat temperature, which means it breaks down when you heat it up. Really, you're not supposed to heat it above 250 degrees. So it's not the best oil for cooking. Use coconut oil, grass-fed butter, avocado oil. Use those instead for cooking. Use your olive oil for your salad dressings, or drizzle it over roasted vegetables or whatever after you've cooked it. But don't use it in high heat, because then you're not getting any of the benefit, and actually you're causing more harm by ingesting oil that you've cooked with when it comes to extra virgin olive oil. Number 11 on the list are all your dark leafy greens. I know, it's true. They're really, really good for us. So you can't stomach them, find ways to sneak them into your food. Spinach might be one of the easiest of the dark leafy greens to sneak into food. Also kale. Again, smoothies, great way to pack in nutrients and not really have to taste them if that's not your favorite thing. But you can also hide spinach in other concoctions as well. I mean, we put that into our homemade spaghetti sauce. Of course, we'll make omelets and throw it in there because you can't taste it that much. And it's one way to get it in. My son doesn't complain much. I mean, he'll see it, go, "Oh, Mom." I'm like, "Do you really taste it?" It's like, "No." I'm like, "Good. Then you're eating vegetables without even knowing it." Okay. So dark leafy greens, lots of phytonutrients that the body needs, not just for brain health, but overall health and well-being. They're really good for reducing inflammation. They're good for neutralizing free radicals, which is when you are an antioxidant, that's what you do. That protects cell damage from happening. So load them up. Lots of nutrients in there that are required for you to be able to focus the way that you're wanting to. Number 12 on the list would be rosemary. Now, rosemary isn't necessarily food, but it's seasoning. Can be very strong, so use it sparingly if you're new to rosemary, because it can be quite potent. This is great for putting on your poultry or your pork, doing a bake, just to add in more nutrients that are necessary for brain function. This is starting to sound like a broken record to me, but it's so much about reducing inflammation. If you think about it this way, if the brain is on fire, which is what inflammation is, how well are you going to be able to focus? Like, how well are you able to concentrate or to remember? Can't. It is one of the main contributing factors, inflammation, to lack of focus and concentration, brain fog, short-term memory problems, actual neurologic disorders like dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, multiple sclerosis, even migraines. So if we can squash out this fire as much as possible by consuming foods that all have these anti-inflammatory properties, you are going to be winning. And when they're good for the brain, they're also good for the gut. What's good for the gut is good for the brain, okay? Number 13 on the list is salmon. Salmon, wild caught, okay, not farm, wild caught, has rich source of those omega-3 fatty acids, which again are the building block of the brain. Omega-3 fatty acids are also very anti-inflammatory, so you're getting more bang for your buck out of that. Building block plus anti-inflammatory. Number 14 on the list would be turmeric. Now, most people prefer to just take this as a supplement. The active component of turmeric that is so good for brain health is known as curcumin. It's largely anti-inflammatory and antioxidant capabilities. In fact, it has worked so well that they're doing research now to see if that's an alternative therapy or treatment for actually dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's. Okay? So if you don't want dementia and Alzheimer's, maybe you should start consuming turmeric now. You can use the root in your cooking. You can use it as the seasoning in turmeric itself, or you can get a lot of turmeric in curries. That's part of why it has that yellowish orange color, is the turmeric that's there. So adding that in would be awesome. People put turmeric, part of the root, in their smoothies as well. Again, you can live on smoothies when you're loading them up with real foods, not all of these, contain proteins and that, which not bad, but not what we want to live on. We want to live on real food. The last one that we're going to mention here are walnuts. Walnuts are super awesome because they're a great source of vitamin E. Okay, also anti-inflammatory. You know the routine by now. You can get this from other nuts if you don't prefer walnuts, but walnuts are probably one of the best sources of vitamin E out of the nut family. Huge for warding off things like Alzheimer's. Okay. So that's your top 15 like brain health boosting foods to be adding in that are proven to improve your focus. Now, I mentioned I was going to share with you who do you need to avoid like the plague. The theme here you've noticed has been inflammation. So what we would want to avoid are things that actually create inflammation in the body. So you can do a simple Google search and look for anti-inflammatory foods and foods that cause inflammation, and you will know, like, have a summarized list really easily. But I will tell you, the number one way to cause inflammation in your body is to consume sugar or foods that have high amounts of sugars or carbohydrates in them, or foods that spike blood sugar high, also known as your high glycemic foods. Okay, so sugar is the biggest one. I refer to it as the white devil. That may not be very well received, but it is awful. That's what my son knows it is. If you wanted to start a fire in your brain, you just add sugar into your mouth and there you go. Brain on fire, belly on fire, inflammation everywhere. Avoid it as much as you possibly can. I know that's not always easy because it's super addictive. It's more addictive than cocaine. It's the most addictive substance known to man. But if you really want to improve your focus, look at how much sugar you're consuming. And maybe you don't go cold turkey, but at least start reducing it. You know, if you are a big fan of drinking pop or you drink, juice, or even if you're drinking diet and it's not classic sugar that you're putting into your system, it still has the same effect. If you drink several per day, maybe decrease each day by a can, and over time you'll get to where you're barely consuming it. And I guarantee you, because I've done this with several of my patients, you will notice a significant difference in how you're feeling if you just start removing that from your system. So don't think you have to go cold turkey. Do it in small steps if you need to, but create a plan, have a strategy. I'm reducing my intake by this much this week. Next week, I'm going to drop it to this. Slowly get it so that you've got your exit strategy and it's no longer part of your diet. And I promise you, with all that I am, you will notice a significant difference. Now, I'm super curious. Are you already consuming a lot of the foods I just mentioned, or do you think you could probably add some of these brain power boosting foods into your regimen? Let me know down in the comments. Which is your favorite? What are you going to try tonight? Drop it in the comments. I do read every comment down below, and I love it when you guys engage. I respond to every comment as well. So let me know, what are you going to implement now? What sounds most appealing? Which are you going to avoid right now? Is sugar an issue? You could comment down on that. Just let me know about the foods we just covered down below. Awesome. Now we're going to get into the 6 most effective lifestyle hacks for having ninja-like focus. That sounds awesome, doesn't it? All right, you ready for the 6? Number 1, start each morning with exercise, even if it's only 15 minutes. I understand some of us are not morning people. I also understand some of us have our mornings so packed that it's hard to figure out where to fit it in. I simply wake up earlier because it's that important. And I know for a fact in my world that if I don't exercise first thing in the morning, it is not going to happen at any other point in time. Okay. There's studies and research that show when you exercise, you're boosting brain function and it brings everything online. And doing that first thing in the morning is the best time to make that happen. So add in some exercise, whatever you can. Get the body moving and get you going, and you're off to the races on the right path. The second biohack that you could do has to do with intermittent fasting. Now, if you're not familiar with that, I have a whole other video within YouTube on intermittent fasting and kind of the ins and outs. How do you do this? But the key here is intermittent fasting, where you go at least 12 hours without eating, and you can go 14, you can go 16, you can go 18. It kicks different aspects of brain function in. And one of the things that it does is it makes the brain release what is known as brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. That's the growth hormone. That is the repair hormone. It is what makes sure your brain is healthy. Okay. Intermittent fasting puts us into this place where our brain does that type of process in order to strengthen itself. Okay. So intermittent fasting is a great way to improve your focus. The key with this is don't break your fast too early. So if this sounds like of interest to you, you just want to go to my episode that has to deal with intermittent fasting, and that'll give you more certainty and clarity around that topic. Hack number 3, we kind of covered. But it's really focusing on getting more of those healthy, good fats into your diet. On all honesty, the way, like, you should be consuming about 50 to 70% of your calories you're taking in each day in the form of healthy fats, because your brain has to have them in order to exist, to function, to repair itself, to regenerate. Okay. So more healthy fats. Hack number 4 would be adding in different nutrients that are really good for brain health. One of the main ones would be vitamin D. We've already talked with food that it's omega-3 fatty acids, so that'd be your fish oils. Okay. Probiotics are another huge one when we know how strong the correlation and connection is between gut health and brain health. And then magnesium would be my number 4 for really amping up brain function. And it's not any kind of magnesium, it's magnesium L-threonate. It's the only form of magnesium that we know with certainty makes it into the brain because it has to get past this protective barrier. So vitamin D, probiotics, omega-3 fatty acids, and magnesium L-threonate. Another lifestyle hack is actually writing out your critical tasks for each hour. Like, prioritize what needs to be done in your day and maybe within your day so that you can be more strategic with where you're focusing your efforts and literally focusing. Number 5 would be eliminating pointless distractions. The one that we know is the biggest culprit for everybody is their phone. And it's not something many of us need to be reminded of, but at the same point, I put it in here anyway. Part of why the phone is so distracting is because every single time our phone buzzes and we get a notification, we feel the urgency to have to figure out who it was and what was it, because it stimulates release of what's known as dopamine in your brain. Dopamine is highly addictive. Okay, dopamine makes us feel good. So anytime there's a distraction, especially when it comes from our phone, we get dopamine hits. Believe me, the marketing world has figured all of this out. It is the hormone of distraction is dopamine. Highly addictive, something we crave, makes you feel good instantaneously. So when we know that the phone is probably one of the most distracting, variables in our day, putting it on silent, turning notifications off, doing what you need to so that you're not constantly being aware of it, receiving messages and all this stuff is going to help you be able to stay focused, right? And number 6 would be setting small daily goals. Like, you can have your big overall picture and what you want to achieve. Maybe you have a goal for the year. And then from there, you want to break it down to each quarter. Like, what is your goal for the next 90 days or so? And then within that, you need monthly goals. Okay. And then weekly goals. And then you can work your way in reverse so that you can achieve those big goals by setting small goals for each day. When we're pretty goal oriented, and when you have small goals and you're achieving those each and every day, you feel accomplished, like it's rewarding, you're on the right track, and it's this feed forward kind of a process that helps you going and stay focused on what it is you're basically trying to accomplish in life. So that's another huge lifestyle lifestyle hack that you can add in to help you stay focused through your day. Now, before I get into the only way to truly figure out how to stay focused and to never have to deal with this issue again, I just want to take a moment to remind you to click that subscribe button down below, turn the notifications on. While you're down there, give me a like if you're enjoying this video. That way you never miss out on a future episode. I'm regularly producing information for you, videos for you that pertain to everything brain health related, gut health, anything to help you take back control of your health and achieve what I like to call total body mastery. So again, just hit the like button while you're down there, click subscribe, turn the notifications on, and you will be set. Awesome. Now, the only way to truly ever get rid of your focus issues and never have to deal with them again is you have to figure out what's causing them in the first place. Now, what in the world am I meaning right here? Obviously, we just talked a little bit about diet and how that influences, your ability to focus or not. We've also talked about some different lifestyle factors that could be helping you or potentially harming you. But when it comes to your overall health and well-being, as I mentioned, lack of focus generally is related to a brain health type of a challenge. However, brain health issues can come from gut health issues. Gut health issues could come from a multitude of different things. At the end of the day, to really truly figure out why you're not being able to focus, you have to figure out what is the underlying cause of that problem. It's like trying to fix a stain on a ceiling. You could paint over it and it would look better, right? It's kind of like putting a Band-Aid on the situation. But that doesn't really address why the stain was there in the first place. It's like, I can tell you all of these things that will help improve your focus, and they really should. But it's not addressing why you're not focusing in the first place. So if you want long-lasting results and you don't want to deal with this issue, you want to have ninja-like focus, you want to understand the why behind your lack of focus. And the only way I know how to do that is through comprehensive and proper testing. I like to tell my people, if you're not testing, you're guessing, right? The only way to have certainty of what is going on and where this is coming from is to be able to do comprehensively, test all of you all at once, ask a multitude of different questions to see what nutrient imbalances and deficiencies do you have. Do you have underlying inflammatory problems? Are you dealing with a low-level infection that you're not even aware of because it's not significant enough for you to even have normal infection-related symptoms? Do you have an underlying toxicity issue? Do you have a combination of any of these things that is part of what's robbing you of your ability to focus? That is the only true way to figure this out. Once you can determine what the cause is, then you can put into place a proper treatment that addresses that underlying cause, just like the stain on the ceiling. If you peel back the layers of the ceiling and you figure out what actually caused this stain in the first place, like where is the leak coming from, you can patch up the leak, like take care of it, and you won't have a stain ever again, unless something fails again. But that's beside the point. Find and treat the cause. Okay. Now, if you're still sitting there going like, okay, I kind of know how to eat, I'm not entirely sure how to eat. Like, eating food is one of the biggest variables for why you're not focusing. I can guarantee that much. And if you're still sitting there like not entirely sure what you should be doing, then don't worry about it. I got you. Click down in the description below. Like, click the description so it expands. Look for my free 7-day Eat Your Way to Better Brain Health meal plan. Click that link. That'll be yours. That will give you not only a meal plan that was designed for people who really don't enjoy cooking or people just don't have time to cook on a regular basis. It also has your grocery list in there. But I included recipes that are actually really good. They don't take long to make. They don't have a ton of ingredients. And this way, every single bite you take, you're going to start improving your brain health. That means with every single bite you take, you're going to be improving your capacity to focus and be more ninja-like with your focus. So just remember, go down below the video into the description. Click on it so it expands. Find the free 7-day Eat Your Way to Better Brain Health meal plan, and you will be on your way. I appreciate you being here. I hope that today's video was really helpful and gave you some good insight and kind of has got you going in a better direction. And I can't wait to see you on a future episode. Thanks so much. God bless.